a system. So far we have not started anything in a system. Let's just see how the look and feel of a system, and how do we have to configure the things in a system, right? Now you just type a run command. Have you opened your system, Mohammed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you just click on run command, type
Yes, sir.
mscsc, then it will ask you to enter your IP address. You just have to fill the IP address, your
Yes, sir.
username and a password. Just click on connect. It will take you to the server. So in SAP licenses, there are two licenses I told. What are the licenses SAP now selling in the market?
On-premise and cloud, sir.
Correct. What is the difference between on-premise and cloud?
Uh, On-premise, my voice is audible, sir.
Yeah, you are audible.
Sir, on-premise license releasing yearly wise, and cloud license is releasing quarterly, sir.
Quarterly, yes.
Yeah.
And user experience with what is the difference? If you are using on-premise, you have a traditional GUI also, right? Like the logon.
Yes, sir. Traditional digital Fury GI. Yes, sir.
Uh, if it is a cloud-based license, only
What?
you will have a
Only Fury GI. Only
Fury.
Fury, sir.
Fury you will have, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
this we call it as a logon or a launchpad. SAP launchpad we call it as. If your client is using ECC, you have the same launchpad. If your client is using SAP on-premise, yes, you will have the logon. So for few companies, they create a one web URL. In that URL, they have a system name. By clicking that, again they'll land into a traditional GUI only. Okay. So now I've explained already. If it is a real time, how your system landscape will be. Can somebody tell me? If it is a real time system, tell me the system landscape. At least in real time, we have a landscape of three, right? Our system landscape
Yes,
will be three systems, right? Let's say
yes, yes, sir. So development
system
system and quality and production systems.
uh, landscape. Reliance, that is up to Reliance, okay? Reliance decision, how they have taken. So how they are investing, how they have a budget for their SAP application. If they have a one development system, this is for sure. Development system, only here we do configuration. Remember, okay? Not in any other system. Only this is a modifiable system for a configuration. As a functional consultant, you do a configuration in a development system. Above for anything he want to do a modifications in a program, first he has to do in a development system. Okay. Next, what we have,
Quality
quality
system.
system, right? This
Yes.
is for a testing purpose. This is used for testing purpose, right? Here also, only you remember always, this is the thumb rule and this is a basic important information. Only this is a modifiable. Other systems are not modifiable. Remember always, okay? A real time also we follow the same scenario. Why other systems are not modifiable? We'll understand. Already I told, if you have a system modifiable, if you're doing some modification, if I'm doing some business process, the system will not give you a right information, right process, right? If you're repairing it, it will not work. That is how it stands. Let's say Reliance has a budget more, okay? They have a little more budget. They want to have their system landscape even better. Then they can have a pre-production system. Okay. Three systems are mandatory. It doesn't always mean that they definitely have a three system. They can have, if they are able to afford, they can have in between one more system that we call as a pre-production system. This is also used for testing purpose. Okay. Why we need to have one more system for testing? In a sense, if anything, if you were not able to find out here quality system, if you do a same replica in a pre-production system, there might be chances you can find out here. That is the reason they'll have one more landscape. Finally, you have the system which is useful for a business, and a real-time system is production system, right? What is it? Production
Production system.
system. So, who decides your system landscape? Business client will decide, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
obviously, any IT system, IT application, at least it should have a development, it should have a quality, it should have a production. Irrespective whether you have a pre-production, that is up to a client. I've seen few clients they have the pre-production system also. So they think that this system is exactly replica, maybe a 90%, 80% of a match to your production system. That is how they call it as a pre-production. So if after testing is completed, if you move your changes from quality to production, if you might get some errors, and little errors you can filter out if you have a pre-production system, right? So nobody is perfect. Mistakes will happen, right? So to avoid a mistakes as maximum as, they'll have a system landscape in a transparent way. Got it? Now, now coming back to the topic. Now, if this is a real-time system, the minute you open a system, if it is a real-time, you might have a three connections, right? One is for a development, the other row will be for a quality, and a third row will be for your production, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. That is how it will be in real time. But this is a test system. So you don't have other system. Only you have a one system, which is a development system. You can modify it, you can test it, everything, all activities we'll have to perform here. We don't have any choice, right? Typically, the minute you log into the launchpad, now you are seeing here connection, right? Sometimes, after basis consultant install the application, SAP application, installation, everything is done, they'll give you a username and password. The minute you come and click on a logon button, you will not see this connection added. You don't see your system landscape is added here. Maybe you will not see three connections here. In that time, you no need to panic because you are an experienced guy and you know SAP how it works. If you don't see it here and if you are panicked and you are saying your team, hey, I don't have anything in a system to log in, I don't know what to do. If you say like that, if you put experience, they'll understand this guy is a fake. Okay. And if you are a fresher, if you joined as a fresher, if you don't know, maybe they'll help you. But as you are a SAP person, you learn SAP. If you don't say, like, I don't know what to do, if you say like that, it will be a problem. That is the reason you understand how it works is, if you don't see here, the system landscape should be here, default, and sometimes it will be missing here. Then the easiest way is you can ask somebody in your team who already has these connections, okay, enabled for him. You ask him to send you the properties of a system connections, or else you can ask him, hey, send me a connection details. He'll send you a connection details. If you have a connection details, you can set up the connection by yourself. How to do that, let me explain you. First, this is a connection already there. You just right click on it, just go to, if somebody asking you connection details, which system he is asking, maybe sometimes he'll ask a development system details, quality system details, or a production system details. Whatever a system he asks you, you just click, right click on that system, click on properties. You see, these we call as a connection details or a properties. So description of a system, system ID, instant number, and application server. What you have to do is you just take a screenshot of this and send it to him, the person who is asking. I'll just take into Excel because we will delete and we'll add again. Maybe I'm adding here. I've taken a screenshot. Yeah. So now let's go. If you give this, you can set up yourself easily. Okay, cancel. Now I'm just deleting it. Delete. Okay, done. So I'm just opening a launchpad. I'm not seeing anything. I should not be panic. Oh, it's easy. I know. I've asked somebody in our team. They provide me the connection details like this. So you just click on create new connection. Then the screen will come like this. You just click on next. You fill these details. Already these details you have got right. S4, A4H, S4, A4H, and instant number is 17. So I think we have a application server details. S4 log 2021. Log 2021, right? Just click on next, next, finish. Now you see connection is enabled, right? If you close it, if you open it also, you will see from then. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If at all nobody is in your team could not able to provide this details, then which consultant can provide these details? Whom do we need to ask? Banu?
Basic and
Basis consultant. Correct. If nobody knows this details, you can ask from a basis consultant and he could be able to provide you because he is the admin for this SAP setup, right? He can provide it. Now you just double click on it. By double clicking on, you can see what is this system, right? Welcome to S4 HANA 2021. This is on-premise 2021 license. Whatever license we are using, it's of a 2021. So for 2021 to 2022, there are no major changes in FI and CO side. Okay. So normally there won't be any big changes between the releases. There are few other modules, other capabilities. There will be some third-party system connections that we'll talk later. That standpoint, new changes will come. That's all. So the minute you click on a login, you see high level. What you see a client, right? What is mean by client? Now let's try to understand. Client will differentiate you are in which system. Let's say here we have a four systems. Let's say in a four systems, if we talk about a client, this is a 400. What is it? This is a 400. By logging into the 400, how basis consultant will set up is he'll give one number, three digit numeric number. He assign that client to one system. Whatever data you process here in a back end, he'll consider that as a development system and he'll store data somewhere. In a database, he'll save. Once this testing is done, sorry, development and basic little testing, you do unit testing. If that is done, then it has to be moved here. Somebody has to test here, right? And to differentiate the system, if it is a quality system or not, you have a client ID here different. There it is 400, here it is 500. It means when you are logging into the system, if you mention here 500, now you are logging into where? You are logging into quality system. And you have a different client ID for a pre-production. And you have a different client for your maybe 900. Most of the times production systems will have a 900 client. If we talk about what is a client, what does it do? It differentiates the system in which system you are logging in. In that particular system, whatever data you configure, process, it will finally save under which client and which database. That takes care of a client. And in a simple words, as a functional consultant, what we should understand is client basically tells you you are into which system, you are logging into which system. If I'm logging into the minute I see a 600, I'm in which system? Example, this is example.
Pre-production.
Pre-production.
Pre-production. If the client is 900, in which system I'm logging in?
Production.
Production, sir.
Production system, right? And also every system has one system ID also. If you see, this has a client 400 that we have seen. And also if you see the system ID, SID, 4-digit alphanumeric value you will have. What is this system ID? A4H. A4H they were given for a development. And a client you have a 400. So this we call it as a A4H. This we call it as, there will be a little sequence they follow, nomenclature A4Q. Okay, maybe A is your client if you think. If you are doing for a Reliance, right? Reliance 4 means S4 HANA. Maybe if you want to name, normally a development system will name with a D. One letter will be D to identify whether it is a development or a quality. So Reliance S4 development system. They can give you this name. Basis consultant only will give. This will give Reliance S4 HANA Q. Q in a sense quality, right? And this is to give you identification Reliance for pre-production P. So that also come P. Maybe we are PRE, PE, PR, pre-production. Then we add this as Reliance for production. This is a production. In real time also, we'll remember a system. So let's say if you're working in a project, you have to call the names. Definitely you'll call the names. Hey, I'm in this system R4D, R4Q, RPR, R4P. But you talk about a system ID so that everybody will understand he is in which system, he is talking about what. It makes sense, right? Yeah, you have to
Yes, sir. Yes,
remember
sir.
all the
Yes, sir.
system IDs also you have. So let's come to the point. That is how the client will be, and this is a top node because wherever you are logging, that only tells you where you are working, right? There is a reason in your organization structure also we have to consider technical piece first, which is nowhere related to your functional module. However, the topest node, top one is client, right? In a structure, client, which is a technical. However, you better remember always in your organization structure, client will be a highest node. Under client, what is your functional organization structure you have, that you have to define based on a client requirement. And you have a standard structure, right? So like if the vehicle has to run, it has to have an engine and it has to have the other components like a gearbox, tires, everything is important, right? Let's say my client don't want this, whatever a client you are configuring, maybe you don't want tires. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever a structure you are defining, it should be appropriate and it should be same, right? It's like somebody has to use this, somebody has to skip this. No, for everybody same structure, right? The naming and the
Yes, sir. Yes,
business
sir.
knowledge will be different, but the structure remains same for everybody. That you need to remember. Anyway, we'll see one by one, then you get it very easily. Now let's go back to the system. Let's give your username and a password. Just enter. You log into the SAP system now. In SAP system, you need to understand the screen. This is nothing but a GUI, right? Graphical user interface. The screen, how it is looking to you. And above you have a menus, right? Different menus. In different menu, you have a different options, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Whether they are useful, they are like a shortcuts. Everything has, every option has some purpose, right? Every option will have some purpose. You see in a help, if you don't know something, and you can get the help from SAP help also. If you click this, it will take you to the SAP help portal, and Google, it will take you. So it will give you, there you can type, and if you forgot something, you can type whatever you forgot, and you can recall, and you can continue doing it. Obviously, most of the people has to go for a SAP help every day on their daily job for some reason to understand something. There is no other go, right? That also on a fly you learn. You have to understand the things by your own, and you have to fix it. It's taking time. Leave it. Now you have a menu, and each menu you have different things. You guys have to explore all the options. Okay, you do what all experiments you want to do, you do it, that is yourself. And this is for this is anyway test system, right? Nothing will happen to this. You do it and you learn it. If you have any concerns, you come back. What all needed, how we use them, I'll explain you on a topic time. Based on a need, I'll explain you. But until I explain, you no need to wait. You can explore yourself. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
next
sir.
thing is next thing is in SAP, this we call it as a command field. What is it? The box you see here, right? This is a command field. In SAP, there are two ways to access a particular transactions or a configurations. Okay, two ways in a sense. There is a way, if you want to post the invoice, you have to reach where invoice posting functionality is there, right? Yes or no? If you want to post any general ledger invoice, you need to find out where it is, right? How you do it? You start walking. This we call as a path. First, you go to accounting. This is a accounting folder. Then you will go to financial accounting. Then you go to general ledger. Then you go to document entry. Then you have a place post the general accounting, right? We just
Yes, sir.
gone step by step. The way you go step by step, this we call it as a path. Going in a path step by step, and reach your destination and click on it. You post the invoice. This is one way to handle an SAP. As a freshers, as a learners, always you guys prefer a path. If you go path all the time, you will remember very easily. You will have a content stored in your brain. It's not that if you forget also, no matter. If you know it, you can Google it, you will get it. It's very at fingertips you can get it. But concept you should be there in your mind, right? If you forget, it doesn't matter. Don't care. Nobody remember everything in SAP. But you should know that concept. If you forget, you Google it, you will get it, and you do it. That is how it works. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
if I don't know path, if I forgot the path, maybe I know a transaction code. You see, every transaction has a transaction code. You see, F-02. This is nothing but post a general invoice, general ledger invoice. If you say F-02, if you remember a transaction code, you can give the transaction code directly in a command field. You see F-02. If I give this, now I am not walking um, in a path. I know, I remember a transaction code of -02. Then I am giving in a path. I am just entering. You see, we landed into the same screen, right? So that is how you need to understand in SAP. There are two ways. One is a path. One is a transaction code filling in a command field, and you have few favorite options and a few icons added here. These all are related to your screens enhancements, and screen related settings you can have it. And this is a business workplace. It has some different functionality. You can set up your inboxes, whatever mails users send you for approval, and that stuff you can handle this. You just have to explore these options also, right? Page up, page down, favorites up, whatever you want to do it, you can do it. Okay, if you want to I have not explained what is the favorite, but whatever favorites you have, you can move up, put down, whatever. But basically, you just have to explore all the menu options and icons so that you only tell me what is it, and based on requirement, we can use it, right? But it's not about a function, it's not about your FICU functionality, it's about how you navigate, how you use the application, right? If you, let's say
Yes,
you
sir.
have
Yes,
a
sir.
new mobile in your hand, what you do, you start exploring all the options, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Likewise, you start exploring based on a requirement. Anyway, we'll use them. Better you explore. Now, the important thing is these are the favorites we'll talk. Once you understand the system, we'll talk this. And these are the menus, these are the functionalities given by SAP. If you see accounting, you have HCM, you have, and accounting, you have financial accounting, controlling, and you have a logistics. In a logistics, you have a material management and sales and distribution. What is it? Plant maintenance, production, plant and maintenance and production, logistics. Yeah, sales and distribution. You see, material management. So everybody's related activities. You can see it here, right? But still, there is a difference. I will talk in a minute. Before that, before that, basically, whatever application you are using, maybe mobile you are using, you should know technically what is the processor, what is the RAM size, what is the hard disk. That details you need to understand, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But however, here that is related to basis consultant. But if somebody asks you what is your system data, what is the server and all, if he asks you, you should be able to tell him. So to know your system details, you just go on a system and click on a status. If you click a status, it is a basis related information for this system 400 client. Where what is the database, a server, everything, technical details, you can see it. I told you clearly why you should not share your password. You see, in this client, what is the user ID just now logged in? This is a user ID, means the person who logged in. When he was logged in previously, that date also it is showing. Okay, and the time when previously he was logged in, when newly logged in. System has a different timings. Okay, log on time has a difference, different time zones also they'll set up. So that is how they are set up. But system time, our system is in Indian time. We've started 7:34, right? So now it is a 7:34. Maybe it is a few seconds more. It is reading. Now, whenever you are typing your username and password, if you forget to type a password wrongly, remember you never type password wrong. If at all you type a password wrong one time, it's okay. You just wait and type a password next time correctly and log in successfully. Keep on, if you type password three times wrong, your username will be locked. Again, we have to contact a basis consultant and unlock it. It will take time. That is the reason. Don't do that. If you say I am giving a password right, still it is locked. If you say, basis consultant will understand. It will tells him how many times this guy has typed wrong. Okay, so that is a important thing you should remember. So this is nothing but this transaction. Every transaction, every screen has one transaction manager ID. This is the default. I'll show you. And I told you every action in SAP is related to what? In SAP, how it works, every screen, every action on a above program, right?
Above programs.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Whatever a screen we are seeing, to populate this screen and a backend, SAP, the program related is SAP LS MTR. This is a navigation. We are just seeing a navigation, just seeing a information, right? This navigation information SAP is showing with this program and navigation screen. See, program graphical user interface screen. This is also a technical. Every screen has one screen number and a admin. We have a admin access now, right? Because this is a test system. Session admin, it is telling. It's also a technical. This purely ABAP related, but we are trying to understand. At least if you know this, this user ID log into this system by this time, this previous time, if you see the server name, and down you see a server name also, and a platform ID, host. These all are what technical things, right? Host. What is the operating system? That is the reason your user ID every time is connecting to this server S4 log 2021, and this is a release. So all of a sudden your ID logged into different application server. That will become a problem. I told you, right? You have to physically travel to that location. If you log in by yourself, that's okay. But if you share your password, somebody is logging from other server to your ID, they can track it easily, right? Everything is tracked. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That is the reason I told you don't share any passwords. So now if you see it, every application need operating system. Currently, this application is running in a Linux operating system. You know, right? Like a Windows, you have a Linux, and this is the installation number demo system, right? This demo system will expire by May. So obviously it will expire sometime and they'll renew it, right? Demo system also they have to contact SAP. They'll ask for a license renovation so that it can be extended further. So by seeing this, what is the information you understand basically? You know that everything is tracked and little more. What is the operating system we are using? When system license is going to expire, but this is not your scope. You no need to bother about it. Nobody gets it expired. Every time they have a, before only they renew it, right? And a server, what is a server it is using? What is a release database? These all are technical. If we talk about database, this we don't have anything. This is a HANA database. HDB means HANA database. SAP S4 HANA runs on what database? HANA database only, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I told you already, SAP runs on only HANA database, whereas in SAP ECC was running in a third party database,
Third
right?
party database.
So
Yes, sir. Yes.
few examples I told, Oracle, DB2 and Microsoft, right?
Microsoft. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is a technical piece, that's all. Now you just close it. Now let's understand. In SAP, there are two screens. In SAP, the minute you open, you see this screen named as SAP Easy Access, right? So there are two screens in SAP. One is SAP Easy Access. There are SAP. One is Easy Access screen, and the other one is IMG screen. What is it?
IMG skin.
It is nothing but implementation
Management guide.
guide. IM stands for implementation, G for guide. Okay. Okay. Now let's see what is this easy access screen. What you can do is easy access screen is to deliver the functionalities related to end user or an accountant, whatever business user you call it as a business user, as an accountant, what all activities I need to perform in a real time? I need to record the transactions. I have to do reconciliations. I have to check ledger balances. I have to clear some. There are a lot of activities that I have as an end user. Okay, I have to post vendor invoice, make a vendor payment, customer invoice, customer incoming payment. There are a lot of things they have. Okay, all the activities they'll handle in a SAP Easy Access screen, right? They have a dedicated screen, SAP Easy Access screen. The minute you log in, you landed into SAP Easy Access screen. Here, everything is related to a real-time business process only. Here you don't have anything, any functionality to configure, set up the system. That options you won't be able to find out here. This is basically SAP Easy Access Screen is to perform end user related business activities. Got it? End user. So as a consultant, we do both activities, right? What do? We do configure, we do end user activities because we need to test the system, right? And you need to understand their activities also. So that only it's 100% fulfilled. Otherwise, there is a gap, right? As a consultant, we use the two screens, we understand both, but a business will only have an access to SAP ECC screen. Sorry, SAP Easy Access screen, not an implementation guide. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is used for business and user related activities, right? As a consultant, we also use it, that you remember, but that easy access screen is defaulted to your end user purpose. Now coming to IMG means the full form is implementation guide. This is for a this is used for configuration or a development by consultants. Functional or technical, right? But if a developer want to modify anything in a program, yes, obviously he has to go in a implementation. And as a functional consultant, if you want to configure the system, you definitely have to go to the implementation screen. Now tell me how to log into implementation screen. Anybody knows it?
SPRO.
SPRO is a transaction code. That transaction code you have to type on a command field. For whatever reason it is, if you want to type a transaction code, the transaction code or a T code we call it as, you have to type in a command field SPRO. Just type here. The minute you type this, it will ask you where you want to go. SAP reference IMG. Then click on it. Now you see, this is a screen. As a consultant, as a developer, we have to configure the system based on a client requirement. So this is a system we work generally. Maybe 70% of work we do here. 30% of work we work on a easy access screen. There we create some master data, some create some transactional data, and we understand whether the functionality we configured is working or not. Once we are done with this configuration, then we'll talk about the activities in an easy access screen. What is mean by master data? What is mean by transaction data? How to create? How to see it? Everything we understand one by one. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
here also in an easy access screen, if you go back, if you want to go back, you just place the cursor here, or else you click on a back. It will go to the easy access screen again. This is currently an IMG implementation guide. If you want to go directly to that screen, put a slash n, okay, slash n in a command field and enter. It will take you to the easy access screen directly. Slash n. So here you have a different module functionalities, business related end user functionalities. You have a different folders, right? And let's say in logistics, you have a material management and you have a sales and distribution, right? So likewise, if you come here to the accounting, you have a financial accounting and you have a controlling, right? Financial accounting controlling. And if you see in a down, you have a human resources, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Likewise,
sir. Yes, sir.
these are the end user functionalities. To use these functionalities, you have a different path, different folder. And likewise, if you go to the SPRO, we are not only the persons who supposed to configure a system. Everybody has to perform. Guy has to do configuration. SD person has to do SD related. Everybody has to their configuration, right? That is the reason here also you have a different folder. You see, financial accounting, a folder is there dedicatedly. Controlling, there is a folder. You see, sales and distribution, there is a dedicated folder for implementation. For material management, right? Every module related the configuration folders and steps you have here. It is not only meant for us, right? Now, if you look at the top from a top, you see the first one we need to understand more on enterprise structure, right? What is it? It's a structure about a FI module. It's also a structure about your controlling. It's also a structure about your material management. It's also a structure about your sales and distribution. Like how you are structuring, how you are creating your enterprise structure, your client structure based on his requirement in all the function. Everybody has to come to this folder and they have to configure it accordingly. Now, let's say if you want to understand more theoretical on this enterprise structure, what does it mean by an SAP? How does it work? If you want to understand more, always, most of the functionalities you have a documentation here. You see, there is a button with the notepad and the split symbol. This is a documentation. If you click this, it will give you a documentation. It explains you theoretically what does it mean in SAP. Whenever you are in a situation to understand a more, you can explore this and you can understand. Sometimes enterprise structure is basically your organization structure based on your requirement we set up. If you tell they are not understanding business, okay, they'll not believe you, then you have to bring them here. You just open it and show it. It won't happen, obviously they'll understand. That much cross questions will not be there if at all. If nobody is listening you, then this is the final option, right? This everybody has to agree because this is given by SAP, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So and also here we are in S4 HANA system. They are telling R3 system. What is mean by R3 system? What is mean by R3 system?
ECC, sir.
ECC system is R3. We call it as, right. That is a version. How to portray the specific organization, whatever you have in SAP ECC, similar functionality you have in here. It means R means real time data processing, right? Three
Yes, sir.
means three
Yes, sir.
tiers, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
One is a client, database, and server, right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you forgot, you just recall it. So it is telling you portray your structure, different accounting, logistic, human resource, organizational units are provided. Everything in detail, whatever we are talking, it is also telling the same. You have to define a structure. Until you have a structure, you cannot perform any business activities, right? And one is connected to another one. That link also we have to give here, right? You can read the documentation if you have a more time, then you understand. Now let's go to the enterprise structure. Enterprise structure, again, under this enterprise structure, again you have a definition assignment. What is meant by definition? Definition is basically creation, right? Definition means what? To create something. If you want to understand more, again click on a documentation. For this, there is no documentation. Reason could be some functionalities will not have a documentation in a test system. They have not loaded. That could be a reason. For few functionalities, SAP by itself has not given a documentation. There can be a possibility, but for this, definitely you should have a definition. It is missing here. It's okay, okay. But basically, whatever
Yes,
I
sir.
say,
Yes, sir.
if you do, that is fine. But you have an option. You always remember if you want, you can read it. Okay. Or else go to SAP help. You just type what is a definition in enterprise structure. If you type in this URL, it will give you the same documentation. That also one way. Now just go to financial accounting. If you want to understand about financial accounting, click on it. It will give you information. There is a further documentation. You click on this, you see a more to learn, right?
Yes, sir.
Just close it. Under definition, you have a different module again. See, financial accounting, controlling, logistics, sales and distribution, services, management, logistics, plant and maintenance, human resources, right? As I told you, everybody has to configure their organization structure for a client. Otherwise, it is not useful, right? Now we are the financial accounting FI consultant. First, organization structure we have to define for financial accounting. Just go to financial accounting. So first one is define a company. For company also you have a documentation, right? Now, if you want to define a company, there is a round button, right? This we call it as execute button. If you want to define it, you have to click on this round button, not this documentation. Always if you click on documentation, you see this documentation only. Now you have to define a company, just click on define. You see, now the screen has come. As I told you, as a functional consultant, we will not, we will not do any coding or a programming. Do we? No, right? We don't do it. We
Yes, sir.
functionally, we understand our business, we enable that in a system. That is what we do, right? We are a consultant, right? Now, let's say here we are in a first step. In organization structure, what is it? First, we understood. First, you need to tell the system for which company, which client you are configuring the system. That company name you have to write down and you have to define in a system, right? Let's say in this case, Reliance. Until you tell, system doesn't know, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now let's go back to the system. And if we see how many companies already created in this system, in this client, the down you see,
1,400.
1464.
do you think in real time it will be this big number?
No, sir. I think.
No, definitely no. Because whatever no application license Reliance is buying, that is only for Reliance, right? Reliance is one company. If you have maybe some subsidiaries, maybe have two, three, four, he can have, but definitely he'll not have this much big number, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is a test system. Wherever you go in a configuration related, you see a big numbers and configuration will be more. But don't think that in real time this is not the case. Okay, you have a system very fresh and you have everything configured, every fully packed functionalities and only for that client only. You never see this kind of this many companies are defined not only for this configuration. I'm telling, wherever we go to configure, you see multiple things because this is the test system that you have to remember, right? Don't forget. Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we have to define our company for our client Reliance. Now you just have to tell me where I have to click on a screen, where I have to click on I can create a new company.
New entry, sir.
There is a button new entries, right? You see, we don't
Yes,
have
sir.
a developer access like programming. We write some different symbols, if conditions. We'll not use it. We are functional. Just we have to follow the options. Just click on new entries, and there is a screen has come. Here you have to fill the details and you have to configure it based on a client requirement. Here I can add my as per my choice or as per a blueprint we have to do it.
Blueprint, sir.
Yes. Now once you are doing a configuration, make sure in a blueprint also an FI topics or a CO topics, one person cannot configure everything in a limited time, right? In a team, team lead will assign the work between our team members. So whatever work is assigned to you, that configuration related blueprint you open, you refer that and configure accordingly. It's not your choice. You should not give anything related to you. Okay. And also
Yes,
one
sir.
more thing is an SAP at a time, one configuration can be done by one user only. In a one client, let's say one client in a sense, the one system. Let's say I logged into a development system now. I've already logged in and I am defining a company. If I am defining a company, you have a request. Maybe you want to modify already created one company. Okay. You have to wait until I complete my activity and I come out of it. If I have to complete this and I have to come out. Otherwise, you could not able to do it. It means in simple real time also same scenario. One configuration, particular configuration at a time, one person can only be performed. If you want to see it, already I am in a creation mode, right? Let me myself only let me go and open one more time slash o. If you want to open one more screen, okay, let the current screen be like this and open one more screen with the different transaction code. You can type slash o in a command field and I want to open SPRO directly. I want this screen to be open like this and open one more SPRO screen. Just enter. See, it has come. Now if you see how many screens you open, you have two. One is already this. Now I have opened along with one more screen. SPRO. Just go to reference, enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, define company. Now you see this screen will come. What is it telling? Locked data. The data is locked by user. Who locked it? Means who is already working. It means locked in a sense who is already inside and working. Who is working? New Feb 1. This guy is working and can be displayed only you can see a data whatever companies are defined, you can see the data but you cannot modify it because this guy is already doing it, right? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Either this guy has to perform, he has to come off, then system will allow you. Otherwise there is an option to select his log entries and we can delete and we can perform our activities because this is a test system. There are few guys will keep on practicing. When you are practicing, company definition, if somebody also doing, if he is doing 1 minute and he is going, there is no issue. If he forgot, if he is inside and he went for a break, he went outside, he did not close the system. Maybe he's coming in the evening. So until evening, we cannot wait, right? We lost our time, right?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, we can copy and we can delete his log entries. But it is in a test system and a practice then. In real time, we should not delete anybody's log entries without informing him. Okay, that process and further how to define this company and also additionally a few more things I need to tell. If I tell in a rush also, you will not understand. For now, that's all. We have not done anything. Just we landed into SAP application. Definitely from tomorrow, we'll create our FI organization structure. We'll discuss few other things also. This further steps also we'll think. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Any doubts on this today's class?